Heading into Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, the Nuggets had the #1 offense in the playoffs, while the visiting Los Angeles Lakers had the #1 defense. There were tons of questions on how LA would approach the impossible task of slowing down Nikola Jokic and company, and Denver started the series with a scorching 134.7 offensive rating. So how did they do it? One of LA's few defensive flaws is that they sometimes struggle getting back in transition and starting possessions with a set defense, so naturally Denver came into this game looking to run as much as possible. In the first half, they played at a pace of 102 possessions, and it's not like they were forcing a lot of turnovers and getting out that way. These were planned attacks that helped gain their offense huge advantages. AD misses an isolation floater, and as soon as Jokic grabs the rebound, he's booking it down the floor. With LeBron picking up the ball, it's AD's job to not let Aaron Gordon beat him on the run. But when he does, it's a real easy catch and finish. Again, after a missed shot in the paint, Jokic redirects the rebound into the hands of Murray, who's already taking off. And with just 3 recovering guards to protect the rim, he has no trouble getting to a layup. The numbers game is huge in these scenarios. Vanderbilt falls down while attempting to grab an offensive board, which leaves Denver in a 4-on-5 situation, without Anthony Davis on the floor, meaning they severely lack rim protection. And it's not like they could just sell out to the paint and scramble to recover because of Denver's shooting. D'Lo stops the push with LeBron picking up Jokic in the middle, leaving a streaking Michael Porter Jr. all by himself in the corner. Even when they were able to all get back, they were often left with a mismatch. Gordon gets the ball on the wing with just Austin Reeves in front of him, so he bullies his way to the cup for 2 points. Gordon's ability to attack this cross-matching was huge. Hachimura's late to slide over and close off a driving lane, so he forces his way in close to earn a trip to the line. This time it's Jokic who has the ball and is attacking downhill. Davis is forced to close out hard on MPJ in the corner, meaning that when a shot goes up, you're relying on non-bigs to keep Jokic off the glass, and that's not a battle you'll win often. They also crash the glass like this in the half court. LA started the game with a 3-guard lineup, and they relentlessly attacked that, grabbing 9 offensive rebounds in just the first quarter of basketball. In the dunker spot, Gordon repositions himself to prevent a box out from LeBron, tipping the ball out to KCP, who then moves it 1 pass over to Jokic all alone at the top of the key from 3. These small lineups also left MPJ with a huge size advantage over Austin Reeves, just catching and shooting over the top of him like he's warming up before the game. He gets the ball in the corner, and with Reeves right on him, it doesn't seem like an advantage to attack, but with a little sidestep, he rises up, and there's just no way to contest that. These sort of bailout possessions are pretty consistent in their offense on a game-to-game basis because of how many shot makers they have on the floor, and this really helps them score through tightened defense when the game slows down. After marking a 102 pace in the first half, that fell to just 94 in the third quarter. Yet Denver still recorded a staggering 141.7 offensive rating, and that's because their half-court offense is virtually unstoppable. They run everything through Jokic as a passing hub, either in the middle of the floor or in the pinch post, and move around him as he hunts for cutters. And if off-ball defenders slide down to take away those routes to the basket, he'll just skip it cross-court, creating either an immediate shot or long closeout to put it down and attack. This works so well because of how good their supporting players are at shooting the rock. In this game, they shot just under 47% from deep, and in the playoffs overall, they rank second at 38.7%. Not just hitting spot-up threes, but off of movement and off the dribble with quick trigger pull-ups. They'll set their guys up for these looks through handoff and screening action. Murray sets a screen for Porter to come and get the ball from Jokic, forcing Rui to step out on a switch, so he just moves it one more pass over to Jeff Green for a practice shot from the corner. Primarily, these handoffs are to Jamal Murray though, whose versatility makes for an incredible two-man game with Joker. And if all other options fizzle out, Brown gets covered on the wing while KCP's cut gets taken away, Jokic can just put it down himself and attack in isolation. He has it at the free throw line and the paint is relatively packed, so he just uses his pivot to set up a signature Sombor shuffle. As incredible as Davis is, he does lack the strength needed to keep Jokic from getting to his spots down low, just bullying his way to the restricted area for a soft touch bunny. The weirdness of how the two-time MVP gets into his own offense also threw AD off. When defending a center, you typically don't have to navigate screens from a guard, but that's an automatic mid-range jumper for the big man. This time he screens in the middle of the floor before immediately relocating to the perimeter, which leaves him with more than enough space to hit a 3 on the move. Even when initiating, he gets rid of the ball and comes off a back screen to receive an easy entry in the post, where he puts Davis in the spin cycle and throws it down with 2. This is something you would see from an off-ball wing. Again, Murray setting a screen that Davis isn't used to avoiding, and there's just no way Dennis Schroeder can stop him from getting downhill for an easy bucket. Here it is again, except LeBron recognizes the action and slides down to take away Jokic's cut, only for them to instantly get into a second action with Green setting one for KCP, and nobody's in position to take away the jumper. And that's the thing, Denver will absolutely punish added help with their team-oriented fashion of scoring, and the brilliant decision-making of Joker. As he gets into a post-isolation against AD, Russell comes over to double, so he spins baseline to wrap a one-handed dime around the defense and leave his team with a wide-open layup. With Davis on Jokic, he couldn't protect the rim from these breakdowns, and that's something the Nuggets attacked over and over again to create offense in the paint. Notice how he's waiting at the top of the key for his man to make it down the floor, meaning he's not in position to rotate down when Brown aggressively attacks the rim. Sometimes it's a bit more subtle. Jokic is moving across the lane, seemingly to get into some screening action, so when Brown beats his man off the dribble, there's nobody ready to take away the emphatic dunk. To close out this game in the fourth though, LA made a key adjustment to keep Davis at the rim. What they did was put Rui Hachimura on Jokic as a sort of big body to play him with physicality, while AD roamed off of Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot to protect the paint. And this really stagnated the Nuggets offense. Through 3 quarters, they had at least a 140 offensive rating in each 12 minutes of play, but in that fourth, just 113. And while this did raise some clear issues, there are counters, and I strongly believe they have the personnel to do so. First off, Rui just isn't going to stop Jokic from getting to his spots. This is more than a 60% shot for him, but it just rims out. It's much easier for him to seal deep position, and although AD's waiting in the paint, it's really tough to stop a guy like that when he catches it in close. Secondly, by putting Rui in the primary action, he just isn't going to offer the same sort of resistance against screens like Davis, coming up to the level and not doing anything to deter Murray's drive, which results in a 2-on-1 going at the rim. You can also explore using Gordon as a screener, which is something they've been comfortable going to all season long. He can run the inverted pick and roll with Jokic as the ball handler to create some matchup issues, or have him screen for Murray in a more traditional setup with the big man just one pass away, as a method of getting into your offense without having AD parked down low. There's also his positioning on the floor. Instead of working on the baseline, you can bring him up higher with better shooters in the corner, which makes those rotations as a helper a lot more difficult. We saw a closing set from Denver that worked extremely well, starting with the Murray and Jokic two-man game, but with Gordon on the weak side setting a flare screen for KCP with AD helping in the paint, which leads to one of the more open looks they got all night, but just misses. So while LA potentially found some things that work, their execution has to be on point if they want any shot at slowing down this buzzsaw of an offense. And they better be ready to counter whatever adjustments Malone and the Nuggets make, because if they keep scoring like this, things aren't looking too good for the Lakers. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be first on more content. If you're interested in my more in-depth research, make sure to check out my website and social media profiles. You can find those links in the description. Feel free to let me know down in the comments what you thought of this game and what your predictions are for the rest of the series. As always, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.